Hello and thank you, not just to my subscribers and to the PACT Nation, but thank you, the individual viewer. Thank you. I'm very well aware, without you there is no me, so that's not lost on me, so thank you. Now, if you are new here, and if you find the content of this video interesting and pleasant, go ahead and press like, support me. And if you haven't done so, subscribe, join the PACT Nation. Furthermore, if you are interested to support the channel financially, you can do so in addition to the super like and the super thanks. There is a Buy Me a Coffee link, which is a personal support link of mine. Click on that and help us out. Either way, your viewership is more than enough. Thank you. I came across this story about Shanquella Robinson. I came across it a while ago, weeks ago. I just never really bothered to share with you guys because, again, this specific story feels personal. I don't know why it feels so personal. It feels like it just hurts me. I don't know why it hurts me. I have no idea why it hurts me, but this story hurts me. And, you know, as I've mentioned to you before, a lot of times when I speak to the camera, it's semi-therapeutic for me. And so I know this would do me good by talking about it. Now, again, before we dive, I am Alistair Hanzekio, and this is my point of view. So, who is Shanquella Robinson? Shanquella Robinson was a daughter. She was a single child, a college student in her 20s. She was smart. She was beautiful. Like any typical young college person. Look, I'm already shaking. Oh, man, Alistair, get it together. She, aspiration, dreams, loved by her mother, okay? And with friends who, oh my God, Alistair, you just started. Get it together. Look, Shanquella Robinson, a regular typical girl with dreams and aspiration, all right? And all she wanted to do is to do whatever she wanted to do. But what I really admire about her, okay, is that despite all the adversity, she excelled as best as she could while being a decent human being. And so one day, she has these friends. And the reason why I'm saying like that is because if you don't know the case, these friends are not friends. These are monsters. Allegedly. Monsters. If you're wondering why I say allegedly a lot, if you're new here, it's YouTube. YouTube is just mean. YouTube, you're mean. Okay? So these alleged monsters who I believe were full of jealousy. And so they did something terrible to Shanquella Robinson. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, I have a computer screen here, and I'm looking over there to make sure I don't misspell her name incorrectly. So, there. Beautiful girl, starting a business, successful girl in my eyes, great relationship with her mother, a nice girl who happened to go on vacation with the wrong people. Yeah, that's who she is. October 29th was a horrible day. Shanquella Robinson arrived in Mexico, and 24 hours later, she was dead. How did she die? She was beaten. She was beaten by her friends, and one of them was her best friends of 5 years. beaten, 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 beaten. You might as well put torture on there. You might as well just add torture into this list. I mean, beaten is not tortured to death. How's that? Forget beaten. Tortured to death. I'm going to give you the name of her so-called friends. Because I can say their names, right, YouTube? Because they were there. There's nothing alleged here. Now, if I mispronounce their names, I don't care. These people don't deserve respect. I can mispronounce the name all they want. So here we go. Elise Hyatt, Winter Donovan, Dejanay Jackson, Malik Dyer, Khalil Cook, Nazir Wiggins. All of you, if you ever watched this video, all of you, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? Guys, it even gets worse. It even gets worse. Okay. So, as far as I could research and as far as I could understand, I'm going to go with each person and their role to the accessory of the murder. Elise Hyatt, as far as I could find, she didn't do anything. She was just present. And let me tell you something, that's not great either, okay? Okay? I'll get into my opinion of that later. Dejanay Jackson, she's the one who is seen on video, because there was a video of this incident, which I'm not going to show you. YouTube would have my head, okay? Dejanay Jackson is the one who fought Shanquella. She hit her. I mean, the video, atrocious. She assaulted. Dejanay Jackson assaulted Shanquella. He hit her in the face, hit her everywhere, whatever you could imagine. That's what she did. She did. Okay? Malik Dyer is the one who filmed the video. He's the one who filmed the video. And in the video, someone is saying to Shanquella, fight back. Aren't you going to fight back? And Shanquella responded, no. She said, no, no. She said it in the sweetest voice. No. Then you have Khalil Cook, which is the best friend, allegedly. Well, that one I'm going to say, F alleged, but the best friend of Shanquella's of 5 years. That best friend, Khalil Cook, is the one who contacted the mother while the doctor, I get on the doctor in a bit. Hold on. While the doctor was working on Shanquella's. And Khalil Cook, he made up a whole story to the mom saying that Shanquella was having alcohol poisoning and she was not responsive. And I'm going to fast forward because all these losers, they flew back home. And that best friend of 5 years had the audacity to deposit all of Shanquella's belongings to her mom. Sorry, there's a pause because I'm composing myself, okay? If you're new here, look, when I get really stressed, I start to shake and I become funny. Laughter is a remedy of mine, and laughter is one of my outlets of stress. So I'm not making fun of the case. I'm just being me. That's all I can be. I get on that later on too, in that video. Someone had the audacity to ask me to be somebody else. Anyway. So then we go to Nazir Wiggins. Nazir Wiggins, apparently he arrived after the fight took place. And he helped assist the doctor with Shanquella during CPR and mouth-to-mouth. Let me tell you why they're all guilty to me. They're all guilty to me because of the report. There's a police report and there's an autopsy report. Okay? And these two don't match. Now, they are in Mexico, and we all know Mexico, you know, you're great, but you're known for your corruption, okay? Let's be real. Let's be freaking real. The police report in Mexico, what is that? It did not match with the autopsy report, okay? Which leads me to believe that all these losers have something to do with that wronged police report. Anyway, she's dead. Shanquella is dead because of all of her friends. Now, the reports are confusing, at least to me. There's two reports. You have the autopsy reports, which does not match what the police report says. But let's look into it. You have here at 2 p.m., a guest staff is alerting the resort that Shanquella is like drunk or something and needs some medical attention. So the resort is like, okay, fine, we send a doctor. So the doctor arrives and the doctor looks at Shanquella and said, well, she's stable, but just dehydrated. But you should definitely take your friend to the hospital. And what do you think those 6 idiots said? No, treat her here. And this is where I'm a little bit like red flag in my head. Now, I have experience when it comes to insurance. Insurance and I know each other very well. And I know for a fact, I mean, in America it is, I don't know how it is in Mexico, but if you are with a resort, and if your resort has an on medical staff, and they arrive and they look at the situation and they deem that 911 needs to be called and you need to be treated at a hospital, you have little options. You either sign a refusal of care form, or to hell with your request, I'm calling 911. It's not even in the hands of the hospital staff to even decide. It's what the insurance dictates. After a certain threshold, it doesn't matter what you say. 911 is being called. So the fact that those 6 idiots requested that Shanquella be treated on site and not at a hospital, pretty much refused to send their friend to the hospital, and that staff didn't make a big scene about it, baffles me, okay? Red flag, Mexico. Then, so if you continue on that report, when so obviously the guy was like, okay, sure, we treat you on site. So they send a doctor, and the doctor arrives and does the CPR and stuff, and eventually the cause of death for that report was cardiac arrest, and she was pronounced dead at 6 p.m. Now, if you look at the autopsy report, okay, the autopsy report states the cause of death: serious spinal cord injury and dislocated neck. Whew. Apologies, I'm a little shaky. And Shanquella's died 15 minutes after her injury. So there's a video online that's being circulated of the fight itself. The fight where Dejanay Jackson, hi Dejanay, when Dejanay Jackson was beating up on Shanquella, 15 minutes later after the video ended, Shanquella died. According to the autopsy report, 15 minutes later. You know what that means? Do you know what that means? That means that Shanquella not only felt every bit of that blow, she laid there on the floor, could still hear. She may not be able to process very well, but guys, your brain is an amazing piece of machinery. Shanquella probably was thinking that she was sleeping away. Anyway, so let's go back now to the details of each of those monsters. So, Winter Donovan. So after Dejanay Jackson beat up Shanquella, Winter Donovan, allegedly, okay, YouTube, I gotcha. Winter Donovan allegedly body slammed Shanquella from the neck. So Shanquella got beat up by Dejanay Jackson, and then at the end of the video, Winter Donovan comes in, grabs Shanquella by the neck, and slams her to the ground. And apparently, oof, that's when Shanquella never got back up. And that's when they called a doctor when they realized she was not getting back up. And Shanquella started seizing. And during the entire time, Malik Dyer, you were filming the video. Hey, Malik, nincompoop. Was it fun to record the video? Was it fun? Did you have a good time recording? Okay. Okay, Malik. Okay. What's the status of this case so far? Well, the FBI took it on over and sealed everything. The FBI is doing the investigation, so things are going to move along as it's going to move along. But the Mexican authorities decided to press charges, and they filed, well, look, everything is still very blurry. And I tried as much as I could to look for details. I really couldn't find much details. But the Mexican prosecutors essentially want to extradite a person. And they named that person as the direct aggressor. The only thing I can think of, because this is based on the video, is Dejanay Jackson, because she's the only one in the video who you can see physically assaulting Shanquella. And so arrest warrant was issued. Now it's up to the U.S. to extradite that person to the Mexico. Mexico, you're gonna have to wait, okay? You're gonna have to wait till we're done with them, Americans, okay? Because you should have done a better job and not have crooked police officer. That police report, forged. And let me tell you why I believe it was forged. These people were bribed. It doesn't match with the autopsy report. I don't care what you say. That police report, garbage. Throw it away. Okay? You have one falsified report. I don't trust nobody there at the precinct over there in Mexico. You all just like poop. Okay? Matter of fact, fire everybody. Now, let me tell you why I believe. Shanquella is the one who paid for the resort. And apparently, from what I could gather, it cost like $10,000 and change. Shanquella, who is the business owner, all right, has a lot of money, came to Mexico with a lot of cash, I believe, in the fives of thousands. And that cash is gone. That cash is still needs to be accounted for. That money is gone. That money is gone. The money that Shanquella arrived with Mexico with is gone. Could that money be used to bribe the police officers? Where did the money go? So what's the sequence of events here? And I think that's important. And so I'm going to recap as best as I can based on what I know. Again, this is my point of view. You have this brilliant, absolutely wonderful young lady. Her name is Shanquella Robinson. And she has friends. She has friends who, in my opinion, are very jealous. Why are they jealous? Because Shanquella is a business owner. She's beautiful, she's young, she's vibrant. She's loved by her peers, she's loved by her family. She's a gentle, nice soul. And so these friends of hers, I'm not really a big fan of that. They have a nasty, nasty spirit. They're just very evil. And so I believe they get together before the trip and they talk smack about Shanquella. This bee, who the hell does she think she is? Let's get her. So they organized this awesome trip. And let me tell you why I believe they organized it. Because they didn't pay into the trip. Apparently, Shanquella is the one who paid for this. It was a luxury apartment. Maybe it cost like in the tens of thousands of dollars. Shanquella paid for it. There are leeches, moochers, crooks, con artists. So they get together, they talk smack about Shanquella, and then they're like, you know what? Let's organize a trip for the birthday and let's invite her. So they organize this trip. They invite Shanquella, who believes that's these are her friends. As that a sweethearted person that she is, she goes ahead and foots the bill. She calls her mom, hey, mom, I'm going on vacation with my friends. The mom is like, okay, great, daughter. Have fun. They get on the airplane. They land. She calls the mom. I landed. They go have food, lunch, or whatever. They arrive at the resort, and mind you, she paid for the place. If I paid for some place to go, I'm not sleeping in the closet. I'm getting the master bedroom. I'm getting the best of everything. I paid for it. So she settles herself in, nice and comfortable. These jealous monsters who allegedly didn't pay for any of this has the audacity to feel a certain kind of way. Mind you, they went there with a purpose. It's my opinion. So when they landed, because Shanquella didn't live long enough to even enjoy what she paid for. So as they landed, as they settled in, as all teenagers or young people would do, right? Even grown-ups, when you settle in, you have a little zhuzh time, get some drinks, have a good time a little bit, right? As they settle in, I believe these 6 monsters got together and be like, okay, how are we doing this? Yeah, how are we doing this? How are we doing this? How are we doing this? In the meantime, Shanquella is, having a good time with herself, and she's sharing her experience with her family and everybody who will listen online. Because some of those videos that I can't show you, not the one where she gets beat up, but the one where she actually looks for her friends, is online. And so throughout that day, they decided to go skinny dipping. So, Shanquella is like, yeah, of course, let's go skinny dipping. We have a pool right there. So she gets undressed. She goes looking for her friends. Where are you? Hey, where's everybody? Hey, hey, hey. And then she walks into a room when they are all dressed. Mind you, this is supposed to be a skinny dipping situation. Why are you all dressed? I'm going to address, in this case, Elise Hyatt. Why are you dressed, Elise? Supposedly you did nothing wrong. Why are you dressed when you are supposed to be skinny dipping? Why are you with the crowd that murdered her, allegedly? So you have Shanquella who just shows up, full of radiance, excited to have fun with her friends, to be assaulted by Dejanay Jackson. Boom! Not just once, not just maybe like a little tap. Beat. Dejanay Jackson is beating on Shanquella. Beating. Do you understand? It's not a smack, a tap. Beating. A beating. Like that. Unsuspected. And guess who's the other idiot who just pulls out his phone to record this mess? Malik Dyer. So they all right here in a circle around Shanquella, who is naked, thinking she's going to go skinny dipping with her friends. She gets assaulted by Dejanay Jackson. In the meantime, Malik Dyer opens his phone and cackle, laugh, and has the audacity to be like, why aren't you fighting back? Do you know what Shanquella said? No. I'll tell you why, Malik. Because she's a decent human being. Well-raised. She's not a savage. That's why she didn't fight back. Oh, I'm not done. Then when Dejanay Jackson had her fill, when she was done venting her frustration of jealousy, Winter Donovan allegedly grabbed Shanquella by the throat, lifts her and slams her to the ground. And at that moment, Shanquella didn't get up. In my opinion, this was the death blow. She started convulsing. Oh, now everybody's concerned, right? So they call the medical hospital staff of the resort. But this is where everybody gets very frantic. Because as they all look at each other like, oh my God, she's not moving. The first reaction for this crook, right? They didn't call help right away. They were like, Shanquella, Shanquella, hello, are you okay? Are you okay? Acting all concerned. And then when they realized when she was convulsing, oh crap, this is bigger than we thought. Yes, it is. Then they got on the phone and called for help. But in the meantime, you have the best friend of Shanquella, who is Khalil Cook, who took his phone and called Shanquella's mom. Her best friend of 5 years, okay? Hello, ma'am. How you doing? Yeah, we're having a good you having a good time? Yeah. So, you know, just want to let you know that Shanquella is not feeling well. Yeah, she drank too much. Alcohol poisoning. Khalil Cook is the one who called home and said Shanquella was not feeling well due to alcohol poisoning. He knew the truth. So the mom is like, what? Huh? What? Okay, well, you know, just have her call me. And then, you know what? Send her to the hospital. What do you mean alcohol poisoning? That's not something you just sleep it off. It really isn't. No, you know, the hospital requires $5,000 to be seen. So the mom says, but Shanquella has an insurance. Oh, no, ma'am. They don't take that. So the mom is sitting there on the other side of the world, be like, this is weird. All right, well, just have her call me when she wakes up, okay? Okay, ma'am, okay. Click. Khalil Cook. That's what you did. So what are the other nincompoops doing in this frantic? Well, you have Nazir Wingings on the phone calling all medical stuff that they can call. So they call the hospital staff. Hello, yes. So one of our friends, she's really drunk. Yeah, she's really drunk. So the hospital staff is like, of the resort, medical staff resort. Okay, I guess I'll come over and check it out. So they come over and they're like, okay, well, I guess she looks very beat up. You guys are having a good old time here, I guess. You know what? She looks pretty stable, but dehydrated. Just send her to the hospital, okay? Of course, that's the standard protocol for a medical staff that's not in the hospital. Again, insurance. Nobody's taking on that burden, all right? Insurance, you need to do better too, but that's a different story. So, okay. So then what did the 6 idiots say, including you, Elise? No. No hospital. We treat her here. Treat her here. These are her friends, including you, Khalil. Yeah, treat her here. Treat her here. And this is where it gets very fishy to me. Very fishy to me because if that was the case, not only is that medical staff needs to be fired, but all medical staff that's not in a hospital but of the resort know very damn well the protocol of insurance. You get trained for that. You get trained on the protocol. It's not something you're like, I don't know what that is. Oh, no. So the fact that that was even agreed on, red flag. You are all fired. Red flag. So let's go with the police report. So apparently a actual EMS was called. Now, to call the EMS, they don't usually operate by themselves. There's usually an 911 that follows, some police stuff that follows. So the police arrives with EMS, and according to this report, EMS goes, all right, CPR, and apparently Nazir Wiggins is the one that helped out with the CPR. Lies. And so Nazir Wiggins helping out with the CPR with the EMS that was called, and then right there they decided that she went to cardiac arrest and pronounced dead at 6 p.m. Lies, because the autopsy report is so different than that. Okay, the autopsy report says she died 15 minutes later after her injuries. 15 minutes later, meaning after Winter Donovan slammed her down, she died in 15 minutes later. That's not enough time to even make a phone call. That's not enough time. It takes 15 minutes for those idiots to be like, oh my God. That's not enough time for anyone to show up anywhere and make a difference. Okay? So already there's this huge discrepancy between those reports. Who am I going to believe? A Mexican police report or autopsy report that coincides with what was happening here? Okay, Mexico. So, all right. So then they were like, oh, crap, right? Because the true story really is that the police arrived and they bribed the police. The police arrived. They're like, she's dead, guys. Why? She's dead. Okay, guys, please falsify the report. Here's $10,000. And those Mexicans took it and they falsified the report. That's my opinion. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's what I think. So when they get a $10,000, because these are broke. These are broke losers. Shanquella is the only one with any sort of money. They probably went to her room, ransacked her stuff, and took her money. And that also means they must have known she had that kind of money. Right? There's a lot of premeditation here. Look, I'm just a simple guy. So, what happens next? All right, they all get in the airplane. They're probably like, oh, crap. Okay, they all get in the airplane and they leave her in the room. They leave her in the room. They take the airplane. They fly all the way back to America. Come back home, settled. Oh, my God, girl, I know. Can you believe we killed someone? I know. Oh, good thing nobody caught us. I mean, we escaped the Mexican authorities, right? So that means the story was credible? Yeah, good job. Okay, so who's going to call the mom and make sure we bamboozled her? I think Khalil Cook got it. Okay, so I think we should call the mom and pretend like we care. Let's call her. Okay, you call her tomorrow. I call her next week. And you, Khalil, you drop her stuff off because you're the best friend. Did I get that about right? Did I get that about right? And that's exactly what they did. When they arrived in the U.S., they were just serenading the mom who lost her single daughter. She lost a single child to these guys. And not only did they kill that poor girl, but they lied to the actual mother who was in pain for losing her only child. Does it get any more eviler? Does it get any more evil than that? Actually, it does. But that's like up there in the evil spectrum. All 6 of you. All 6 of you. All 6 of you. Look at yourself in the mirror. Here's what I think. I think the authorities, the Mexican authorities, really trying to... Let me tell you something. Upon my investigation, there's something that's also disturbing that I found out. If it wasn't for the video of Desjanée Jackson beating Shanquella and the level of notoriety it got, the Mexican authorities were not interested. It actually took black activists to put pressure for this case to get to be where it's at. They were just willing to just let it walk away. Their bribery almost worked. That's another thing that disturbs me. But anyway, that's from a different story, maybe a different channel. Listen, this story has been sitting on my chest for so long. I've heard about this story and I've heard about it. I just never spoke about it, but it's been up here for so long. And let me tell you why. Again, this feels so personal to me. And the PACT Nation knows, but to people who don't know, I'm a dad. I only have 1 kid. I have a daughter. She's so amazing. Just like the Darabrook case, Daddy Bailiff, Darabrook case with Jackson Spark, it hit me in a spot that I now realize is super vulnerable as a parent. That's a daughter. That's a single child. And one of my biggest fears, and I think I've shared that with you guys in one of our live streams, one of my biggest fears with having my daughter, and I know I am powerless. Look, she's just a baby. It's just a matter of time before I lose a lot of my control as a parent. One of my biggest fears that I cannot get over, and that's probably why I'm triggered with this story, because it just feeds into this fear of mine. And look, I'm a grown-up. I understand. Look, I'm human. I'm allowed to have fears, but I understand that, there's certain things I can't control. I understand that. One of my biggest fears, sexual assault, femicide, abuse. Listen to me very carefully because I'm not trying to be funny here. It's a statistical situation of when not if. I want you to be very clear with that. It's a statistical situation of when, not if. That's how scary it is that my daughter, Alistair, calm down. I can't get over that. I can't. It is so deep in my fear. It's so deep in my fear center. It's almost irrational. And what makes it even worse is that I know I cannot control it. I am powerless against it. And when I look at her, when I see stories like that, it just hits me so hard. I can't, it takes me out. I don't even know how to explain this to you. I don't even know how to explain this to you. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't make sense. But stories like that, kids, daughters and girls, takes me out. And again, oh, Alistair, calm down. Again, listen. This was a daughter who was very close to her mom. Okay? She called her mother. She called her mom. Hi, mom. Hi, mom. Hi, mom. Hi, mom. Hi. Just to be stifled by these hating, trifling losers. That's why it takes me out. And look, I'm not being sexist. I think if I had a boy, it'd probably be different. I probably feels like that too. But hey, life is life. This is what I have. This is my cards. I have a daughter. That's it. I have a daughter. I mean, I don't have a boy. I don't know. Maybe it'll be different if I had a boy. I can only be me. I can only be me. I'll tell you a secret. I was able to control my tears throughout this video. Usually when I talk like that, I'm crying, then I have to wait till my eyes become not red anymore. I gotta wipe. Oh my God, videos when I start crying, it's a long time, like a whole day of editing. Because I can't believe I kept it together. I can't believe I kept it together. Hi, I kept it together, sir. Well, we're going to follow the story. We're going to follow the story. I will update you as much as I can follow this. But I want this on my radar because I think, again, in a weird, sick way, I know this story has attention, but I feel like there cannot be enough attention brought. She needs justice. She needs justice for all of them, including the one who didn't do anything, Alice. I don't believe that. I don't believe you may have not done nothing, but you watched and you sat there and you watched. Before we finish here, I do want to share a little something. And you know, I've told you before, right? I read almost all the comments. I don't respond to all of them because that's actually quite time consuming. So I read all the comments. I take my coffee in the morning when my daughter is sleeping and I sit there and your comments make me laugh. I have to say thank you for in a weird way being so supportive. You don't even know you had that effect on me, did you? Sitting there reading the comments of this journey we're having so far makes me so happy. I laugh, I giggle. Some of the comments are so funny. I have a great time with you guys. I really do. I really, really, really freaking do. But I do want to address something though. In the last video I made with Sarah Boone, I did mention that I went through a difficult story with my neighbor. And that story entailed homophobia and racism. I didn't get into the details. But in the comments, I do get some negative comments. But it surprised me. And believe it or not, I recognize a lot of you by your name. I'm telling you, I read all the comments, and I'm very connected to you guys. So some of you might not know, but I know who you are. I remember who you are. And this person with me from the beginning. I'm not going to tell you who it is, and she's not going to watch this because she said she's done with me. And she said to me, the only thing that made her say, F you, Alistair, I'm done with you, was because in the comment I said with the neighbor, I said, quote, I won. And I won hard. And she told me, that comment, I'm done with you, she said. So let me address that comment. It doesn't bother me. The reason why it doesn't bother me is because I'm a grown-up and I understand we are different. And I understand whatever I say, even the way I say it, the way I do stuff, might not be for everyone. Plenty of people who are like, who is this next? Plenty. And that's why I believe if you're here, we have a connection. And I told her, I understand I'm not for everybody. But you were with me from day one. And throughout all of what I shared on last time video, I did mention that my experience with my neighbor involved homophobia and racism. But she was stuck on the fact that I said I won hard. It's almost as if she completely disregarded the fact that I went through a hard time with that neighbor. What did you want me to do, not win? And so for a second there, I was like, okay. I mean, I don't want to say she showed me her heart, because that's not the case. But something, maybe my delivery, or maybe as she followed the journey, she didn't like what she saw as my personality. And then she just harped on that as an excuse to leave. I can only be myself. Look. I can only be myself. I've worked too hard. I've come from very far to cater to anyone's perceptional desire of who they think I should be. That I will never do. I don't care who you are. I will never do that. I can only be myself. And I told you I'm not a good liar. I'm too emotional. I'm a terrible liar. So if I start acting new and fresh, you're gonna call me out, because it would not look great. I can only be myself. I'll tell you the story with a neighbor another time. It's very long and I don't want to take, you know what, maybe I think I'll make a different separate video for that. But look, like and subscribe. Usual spiel. You know what Christopher says, it's like, you're like a robot. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. It's like you're a parrot with that thing. I know. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. A mess. Thank you.